Inside Michigan basketball, delivered by UPS. From figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Visit solvers.ups.com to learn more. By your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By Absol Pure Water, the official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. There is something special about playing in an NBA arena. Now, these atmospheres, these stages have never been so big for Michigan where John Beilein and the Wolverines couldn't handle them. But playing here at Madison Square Garden in the regular season series wrap-up against Penn State did give it a little bit more added meaning. So Beilein and the Wolverines were primed for their matchup in the Big Apple.
We're connected, we're talking, we're messaging. Yes faces. We didn't have great yes faces just a couple days ago. We had a bunch of guys with their heads down because they weren't blowing a team out. And what happened is you could have blown a team out if you would have had yes faces. You got to continue to encourage and encourage and encourage each other.
Michigan seems to love the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. U of M 17-11 all-time in New York City as they started their game against Penn State, and they started really strong again Saturday afternoon, scoring the first 5 points of the game. And after Penn State notched its first hoop, Zach Irvin, as he would throughout the day, had an answer. Irvin tries to answer and does from the left corner for three. Zach Irvin drops home his 26th triple of the season. Penn State answered with a pair of threes from Shep Garner and Peyton Banks. Aubrey Dawkins came off the bench and gave Michigan a jolt. He had a couple of key threes, and Derek Walton turned defense into offense to push the lead to 8, 25-17. Irvin paced the offense in the first half, though. He knocked down 4 of his 6 shots, including a key 3 as time expired. A kick out, opposite wing, Irvin for 3, got it! As the shot clock and game clock expired, Zach Irvin rings up a triple from the left corner. Irvin would finish with 11 in the first half, and the Wolverines led at 38-26. Michigan and Penn State traded buckets early in the second. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman set the pace for the Wolverines with a strong, aggressive take time and time again. Irvin carried over his dynamic offense as well. The Nittany Lions countered with Brandon Taylor and Shep Garner. It was a Big Ten tug of war in the big city. Penn State would go on a 7-0 run, but Irvin helped Michigan maintain a double-digit lead. Penn State would later hit back-to-back threes to get within 5, but the Wolverines would respond on a Duncan Robinson heavy take and a sweet dish from Derek Walton on the break. Rebounded by Walton, 3 on 2. He's up the left side, now he bounced pass inside, Rahman lays it in. What a feed by Derek Walton to give Michigan momentum back. Michigan was back up by 9, and despite a desperate push by Penn State, the Wolverines would hit their free throws down the stretch, and they would sweep the Nittany Lions 79-72. Zach Irvin led the way with his second 20-point performance of the year. Derek Walton with another double-double, his 5th of the season, and Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman finished with 15. U of M is now 7-2 at the halfway point of Big Ten play.
It's my first time being here. A lot of great players have played on that court, and I'm just, excited. For whatever reason that they picked us to, come play here. It was really, it was a great turnout. Really appreciative, of the opportunity, and we're just happy we was able to come out victorious.
It's a huge win for us. Knew it was going to be tough because it's the second time we played Penn State. It's always hard to beat a team twice, and they're going to come out here and fight, and they did that. I just liked how resilient we were. I mean, it was a game of runs. We both made runs, and I just loved how hard we played.
We want to keep the momentum going into the next couple games, and hopefully we can match the intensity that we had tonight into, or even more, in the next game.
Well, you sweep this team this year. You've now won 5 straight against the Nittany Lions. What I like most is when they had a bit of an answer for you, when they had a 7-0 push, you guys pushed right back.
Yeah, I love the play where we got a tough basket after they had cut it to maybe 10, or they cut it maybe to 6 or 8 earlier in the later part of the second half. And we came back and answered, and then got a fast break layup where we saw Muhammad Ali's speed. And that was big. Now all of a sudden it's 10, and now they're back to where they all started. So we made foul shots. We executed against the press, all those things. We didn't shoot well, Matt. and we still won a game.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson didn't shoot very well either. He found some ways to make a difference, but other guys picked him up, like Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. He was really special at times today, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He got us baskets when we couldn't get baskets. He just really got to. He's one of our guys that penetrates, lands on two, has a lot of little moves to get the ball, up to the rim.
Derek Walton with his 5th double-double of the season. He's got 4 double-doubles, 1 triple-double. Let's combine them. 5 double-doubles on the year for your point guard.
I'm so glad that I had never done this until Val and Bakari and Jeff started coaching with me, of sending the guards to the backboard. I was more like a Dean Smith, and send the guards out to get the outlet. Let your other guys get the backboard, because I would have never known what a great rebounder this guy is. I mean, it's incredible how he just goes in, and if it's him and a 6'10" guy, I'm betting on him. He has great timing to get rebounds. So that was big. And then, like I said, he had some really big assists today as well.
Look, you're a good free throw shooting team anyway, but you made them down the stretch. You
Yep.
shoot 80% tonight. You made in the second half, I think, against Rutgers, 100%. Really important for your guys to see that ball go through the hoop and have that type of confidence to knock down those pressure-packed type free throws.
Some games weren't as tight, but in the last Nebraska, they were certainly tight. But in the last 4 games, I mean, they have all been minus, 4 minutes to go, and we're up, but not more than 10. And we got to make free throws, and we've made them all. And that's really important because we never really had. Derek is the only one that's really had to do that. Zach's never had to do that. Duncan's never had to do that for us. Derek had to do it a few times as a freshman and a sophomore, but not like right now. So it's really a good sign that we handle the press late and that we make our free throws.
Coming up, it was a Michigan-Penn State double dip on Saturday afternoon. First the hoops game, and then the changeover for hockey. But up next, Michigan started the week struggling to find their shot at home against Rutgers. But they prevailed anyway. The story is next. To the corner for Dawkins' 3. There it is. Aubrey Dawkins has an answer off the bench. Well, the bullet pass to a cutting Dawkins for the jam. Dawkins, corner 3 on the way. Bang! Michigan with a 2-win week because you beat Rutgers earlier in the week, and even though you didn't shoot very well, 41% against the Scarlet Knights at home, again, with your club seeming to find a way to answer the call and win those tight games.
Yeah, that was, that win. We couldn't just get away from Rutgers. We just kept working and working, and they just got enough baskets. We had a cold shooting night, and but credit them. They played good defense, and they scored the ball enough just to keep it close.
We're at Madison Square Garden here after your win against Penn State, and your team is now 7-2 in Big Ten play. You're 17 wins, 1 more than all of last year. This is a heck of a first half of the Big Ten season for your club. Is it a little, I don't want to say surprising, but how pleased are you that your club is where they are?
Well, I said to the assistant coach, I said when Karras went down and we were 1-0, if somebody would say he'd be down, I would have been surprised he was going to be down this long. But it's taken some time for him to get healthy, and that we'd be 7-2 without him. That's pretty good. Now, the first 9 games, I think, has been tough. I think these next 9 games may be tougher. We'll see. But we got to keep playing good basketball, and got to get better, too.
Final thought, Coffee with the Coach brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. That's from Terry in Plymouth. He wants to know who has taken over the role that Karras LeVert and Spike Albrecht had from a leadership standpoint in your locker room while Karras continues to stay on the mend.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt right now. It's Zach and Derek. They've really done a great job. Zach is probably speaks more and is more adamant about his feelings. Derek is probably a little bit more like a Trey Burke, who is there and a leader, but he's gonna do it more through his actions instead of his words.
13-5 all time against Penn State. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Michigan and Penn State met on the cold floor Saturday night, part of the Super Saturday clash between the two schools. That's coming up. But when we return, we visit the basketball Ironman of the week. Stay with us. When Karras LeVert went down in the Big Ten opener against Illinois, many people wondered aloud, how in the world is Michigan going to be able to compete and contend for a Big Ten title without their best player? What they conveniently forgot is the role players who stepped up a year ago. One of those players was Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. he continues to add big-time contributions as a starter in place of LeVert again this season. The big reason why Rahkman is our Al Rose Steel Ironman of the Week.
We all think that we're capable of so much. Even if one of our star players go down, we all know that we could still be a contender in the Big Ten and for a championship.
Rebounded by Walton, 3-on-2. He's up the left side, now he bounce pass inside, Rahkman lays it in.
Dive on the floor, get a rebound, make some shots, anything. I'm willing to do anything for the team, play hard every second of the game.
Rahkman has made 10 starts this season, and his confidence is growing, especially when the game is on the line.
When you're out there, you got to play with a lot of confidence, otherwise you're second-guessing yourself, and you're not helping your team. My dad's always taught me, be even killed. If you're playing well, stay the same, and if you're playing bad, stay the same. You never want to show too many emotions out there on the court.
Because his dad is a college coach, their schedules conflict, but he was able to see Muhammad play at the Garden Saturday.
He listens because we all have the knowledge. All of us who are older, we give it to our children, we give it to others, but it's only those who listen and really pay attention to it that succeed, and he's done that, so I'm very proud.
I don't look up there in the stands that much, but in high school he definitely used to yell. I could definitely hear him and tell me to pick it up and things like that.
I'm a screaming coach, and I'm pretty reserved at times, but if it's a great play, I'm going to show my emotions, If it's a bad play, I show my emotions. That's the kind of guy I'm.
Later, we will hear from Michigan's new athletic leader. A former Wolverine football and track athlete is now running things in Ann Arbor. And later, we check in to see if Red Berenson's 6th-ranked Wolverines were good enough for a weekend sweep of Penn State. But when we come back, we'll bring you the women's story. The women's team had a tough week, losing a couple of games. Last Sunday, Nebraska hit its first 8 shots to race ahead for good. They won at Chrysler Center 93-81. Junior Sierra Thompson scored 12 for the Wolverines and scored her 1,000th career point. Freshman Hallie Thome had a career-best 24 points. Michigan traveled to Iowa Thursday and held a 9-point second-quarter lead before the Hawkeyes went on a 10-0 run to go ahead for good. Sophomore Caitlin Flaherty finished with 31 points, her 4th 30-point game this year. Iowa drops Michigan 85-69. For more on the Wolverines, here's Sarah Van Meter.
Thanks, Matt. The Wolverines will host their annual pink game later today against Minnesota. The team will wear pink uniforms, shoes, and socks to help raise awareness for breast cancer.
Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you as well.
On Friday night, head coach Kim Barnes-Rico invited a number of breast cancer survivors to join the team for dinner at Chrysler Center. The purpose is to honor the women and listen to their stories.
I get treatments of a bone strengthening drug every 3 months, and I'm surviving. I went through chemotherapy, radiation, a lumpectomy. They found it early. Early detection is like amazing.
My prayers always go out to everybody who's struggling and going through things alone, because I can't even imagine what that is like.
Cancer can only do so many things. There are some things that cancer cannot do, and that's take away your love, take away your faith, take away your courage.
I'm so lucky to be here with all of you people and to share my story and everybody else's story.
These women are such an inspiration to everyone.
When you think that you're having a bad day and you think you're struggling, you just think of these ladies and what they've been through, and you haven't really been through a struggle.
Being a part of the Michigan program allows me to meet women that are struggling and that are getting through it, and I think it's really cool to learn about so many bigger things in life than just playing a basketball game.
The success that they feel, it's just amazing. Them beating cancer is like us beating Ohio State.
We want to fight, and we want to be the toughest team, and we want to be the best basketball team in the country, but really at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're getting our breast exams, that we're taking care of ourselves, that we show a great appreciation for women that are going through the struggles that these women are going through, and really put a value on how fortunate and blessed we are every day.
These survivors made such a positive impact on not only the players, but the coaches as well. And they'll bring the attention back to the fight against cancer again this afternoon when the Wolverines take on the Gophers. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
Let me be the first to say to our
Friday morning, University of Michigan President Mark Schlissel introduced the 13th ever Director of Athletics at the University of Michigan. He's a familiar name and a welcoming face. He's Warde Manuel.
I chose to accept this offer for the same reason I committed to Bo 30 years ago this week, the week before signing date. There is no finer place than this Michigan of ours. We are leaders and best in both athletics and academics.
Manuel thanked numerous faculty, administrators, teammates, and the people who influenced his career. One was Michigan head football coach Jim Harbaugh, who Manuel has stayed in touch with over the years.
We have a bond that is hard to explain. He was my captain my first year. He went through the same thing I went through. He went through it for 5 years. I went through it for 3.5 because of my injury. I know his love and his passion for success for Michigan football. And he should know mine without even saying a word to each other. We know that is embedded in who we are.
It sure seems like a perfect fit in Ann Arbor for Warde Manuel. There were 2 games here at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. The Michigan hockey team started a weekend series against Penn State with a 7-4 win at State College Thursday night. They were looking for the sweep here in the Big Apple. Ed Kongursky's got the story.
Moments after the basketball game, the transformation began, turning Madison Square Garden from a hoops hotbed to a hockey haven. It takes a crew of 60-plus workers about 2 hours to complete the process. The same-day turnaround happening only a few times a year. The Maize and Blue making the short trek across the street from their hotel, looking for a Wolverine doubleheader sweep. Waiting inside, their basketball brethren, John Beilein's crew, supporting their fellow classmates. 14:55 of the first, U of M opens the scoring. Junior Alex Kyle with pinpoint precision, that's his 9th lamplighter, 1-0 Michigan. Fast forward to the second, just 15 seconds in, a rare shorthanded breakaway. The captain, J.T. Comfer, moves in and buries it. His 9th, 2-1 Michigan. Michigan entered the third down 3-2, but responded just over 2 minutes in. Sam Piazza makes a keen move, and Rangers draft pick Boo Nieves never had it easier. Number 6 for the senior, and we're all square. Then the go-ahead tally at the 11:50 mark. Tony Calderon finds linemate Justin Selman to put Michigan on top to stay. The New Jersey native with his 8th, it's a 4-3 game. Just under 3 minutes later, some insurance. Kyle Connor working hard, Comfer the toe drag, and Tyler Mott the finish. His league-leading 21st. He would later pick up an empty netter. Michigan takes it 6-3, completing the sweep and vaulting into a first-place tie with Minnesota atop the Big Ten standings.
My philosophy from day one, before I even wanted to be a coach, was to work hard and have fun. And this is the fun. This is the fun. You sit here, like, Z, great job, great finish. Boca, great job. We had a lot of guys step up in the third period. Boo. See what happens when you shoot the puck.
It was a fun weekend. First time we've played 2 different venues, and to play at MSG today was a great experience, and to get that win, the way we came back and battled was a good win for us.
It's huge to be able to come into a building like this and at Penn State and get a win and a sweep. It's huge for our confidence. We saw a lot of guys come out and play really well tonight. I think that's huge for us moving forward.
Super Saturday was indeed super for the Wolverines. The hockey team completing the sweep in impressive fashion, pushing their record to 16-3-4, their best 23-game start in 8 years. Up next for the Maize and Blue, Joe Louis Arena Friday night against arch rival Michigan State. In New York City, I'm Ed Kongursky for Inside Michigan Basketball.
That's it for this edition of Inside Michigan Basketball here in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Thanks for watching. You got to come back next week. That's when we have the wrap-up of Michigan against 2 top 25 teams, but both at Chrysler Center. First against Indiana in a primetime showdown Tuesday night, and then against their rival, the Spartans of MSU. The only meeting this year against Michigan State. It takes place Saturday afternoon. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Go Blue. Inside Michigan Basketball, delivered by UPS. From figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Visit solvers.ups.com to learn more. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By Absol Pure Water, the official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverines. And by Gardner White, you'll overpay anywhere else.